Hello Sagittarius, welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of March 2021. For the readings this month, I will be using my Groovy Weight Tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and then I will close out your reading, Sagittarius, with a intuitive life coaching oracle card. It's a brand new oracle deck that I'm working with this month, and I can't wait to share the details about that with you, which I will do at the end of your reading. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome. And I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. All right, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. Kind of having a little bit of a tough shuffle there. We'll see what that's all about. So what do we need to know for the sign of Sagittarius? As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of March 2021. All right, you saw that this was, it's like something wasn't flowing, which is okay. Sometimes that happens with the cards here, but when I look at what's coming out, Sagittarius, looks like you've been having some challenges as we move into the first week of March. I just want you to know that if you have been having some difficulties, the worst is over. I can tell you that by the Tower in the reverse. And we've got the Queen of Cups here. But it looks like something's holding you back and getting in the way of money flow here. Energetically, I can sense too, I'm picking up that emotionally things have been very, very challenging. Now, I know this is probably not going to resonate with all of you, but I can see here that there's been some disappointment. There's been some things that have kind of been unsettling for you. Some things may or may not be finance related, but even if it was something that of an emotional nature that still indirectly affects your money because it affects your ability to work, and maybe physically you weren't feeling like you could work. But like I said, Sagittarius, the worst is over. Now here's the thing, as we move into this first week of March, I don't want you to worry if this is not even your situation here, but for those of you, if you are going through a difficult time and you are having a challenge and energetically you're just feeling off, I have to tell you that I can see very clearly that this is only temporary. The first week of March, things might be a little bit sensitive, things might be a little bit heart heavy, but when all is said and done, emotionally things do come back into balance, okay? Because I can tell by these cards here, it looks like you're feeling very off balance. Things may have, kind of shifted for you in a way to where you're feeling a little disjointed, a little disconnected. And the things that are showing up are not necessarily things that you would have anticipated or things that you would have asked for directly. But like I said, the worst is over. The Tower tells us that the worst is over, and now we are in the phase of rebuilding. And it looks like you're having to do that. It looks like you're having to kind of pull yourself together here, and you're going to have to kind of rebuild. You're going to have to, not only maybe rebuild emotionally, but maybe there's parts of your life that you need to start over. Maybe there's parts of your life that had to be cleared away so you can make room for something bigger, better, stronger, more beautiful, or whatever. Now, when I see the Queen of Cups, this tells me again that there's emotional healing and that there's also an emotional release. Now, as this relates to your money, like I said, I'm feeling like there's things going on in your personal life, Sagittarius, that is affecting your financial life, that is affecting your business, that is affecting your work, that is affecting your money. So, you know, things probably will feel a little tender the first week of March here. And you know, when I was shuffling the cards and you saw I was having a little bit of trouble, I'm not surprised, you know, that this is what we got here. Again, but I don't want you to panic, and I don't want you to feel like you don't have any control, because you do. You're definitely going to fix this in the best way that you can for you. You're also going to grow, and you're going to learn, and you're going to embrace the lessons that come through. But I don't know, I'm feeling like there's really, it's almost like something had to be cleared away for the next step, the next move. All right, let's go ahead and continue putting the cards down and see what shows up. Because you can see now the cards are shuffling quite easily. All right. Okay, what else do we need to know for the sign of Sagittarius? As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. All right, this one wanted to come through. Okay. All right. And as you can see, things really do work out. I can see that very clearly. All right. I don't even know if my cards are in frame here. Yes, they are. Okay. All right. So, Sagittarius, it looks like the first week of March is going to be a week of healing, or a week of getting stuff together, or a week of regrouping, because, you know, things could have been a little shaken up. Things could have been a little, like I said, disruptive or disjointed in some way. But check out what happens as we move into the second week of March. Page of Pentacles. Good news coming through as it relates to money. Fantastic news. This is exciting. This is probably some news you've been waiting for. Whatever the case may be, you're going to get some good news. Good money news is on the way. We've also got the King of Wands. This is another very grounded, stable card. This means that, you know, there's some solid foundation here. You know, you make some changes, you set things up. It just seems like things are really on a much more stable foundation, like I said. I'm also feeling with the King of Wands that sometimes this is good news at work. It means that somebody's paying attention to you. It means that somebody's watching you, somebody is noticing the good work you're doing, and they're very, very impressed. So whichever one that applies, it's good either way. We've also got the Ten of Pentacles here. Ten of Pentacles is the card of collaboration, working together, group projects, coming together with the right team and the right people at the right timing in the right way. This is good because it means you guys really make some holistic progress here. The Empress card is another good card. We've got the Empress, which talks about the seed has been planted and things are growing. Things are progressing at the rate that they're going to progress at. You can't force it, you can't rush it, you can't slow it down, but things are happening in a very divine way. Now, the other thing about the Empress is it talks about maturity. And because, you know, maybe this first week of March, things were a little wonky for you. Maybe you've gotten emotionally and spiritually more mature. Maybe you've decided, you know, now that you kind of have some boundaries in place for yourself. Whatever the case may be, there's definitely growth and progress coming, especially as it relates to your money and your finances. Next, we have the Wish card. This is the Nine of Cups. The Wish card is another very positive, beautiful card. The thing about the Wish card, it means that whatever you have been hoping or wishing for, you're going to start seeing signs of it showing up once we hit the second week of March. This is very exciting because so many of us have projects in the works and businesses we're trying to launch and things that are happening. And you know, you're really going to get some good feedback as it relates to whatever it is that you're wishing for. You're going to start seeing it in the second week of March. Now we also have the Five of Swords and the Ace of Swords here. Now the Five of Swords talks about communication, and because it fell onto these two cards here, I'm wondering if there's probably someone related to the stuff that was going on in the first week of March, the communication is still strained in that regard. Okay, so you still may not see eye to eye with some people. You still may have some bickering. You still may have some contentious conversations, I'll put it that way. But don't worry about it. You know, you've got all these beautiful things happening. So I'm not surprised that sometimes people will kind of show up when they sense that things are starting to really take off for you in a good way. Kind of just, you know, don't take anything personal and understand that this is something that you probably will have to deal with. But again, you know, you can keep the conversation short, and you probably will never, you know, you can agree to disagree. Maybe somebody just wants to say things because they know they can push your buttons, or they know they can trigger you, or they can be, you know, gaslighting, whatever the case may be. Just know that what matters is that you decide for yourself what the boundary is. And if you don't want to talk to someone, you don't talk. Next, we've got the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords in the reverse talks about sometimes breakthroughs happen, but at the same time, there could be a false start. Meaning, you know, something was all set and ready to go, and then something happens, and maybe we're not prepared as we thought we were, or maybe something happens and something just doesn't kind of follow through in the way that we had anticipated. It's okay, because you've still got all these good, wonderful things here that are going to really carry you far, Sagittarius. Excuse me. But the Ace of Swords, I'm also feeling too like this is related to this strained conversation here. So there could be something that maybe was supposed to occur with somebody in particular, and then it doesn't come to pass. Yeah, I'm picking that up for a lot of you. And you're actually, maybe you're kind of glad because it doesn't happen. It's like, you know how sometimes when you're like, oh yeah, we'll do this, and then you have a falling out with that person, and so the plans that you talked about don't you know, materialize. That's what I'm seeing with this here. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that and we'll see. All right, Sagittarius, let's continue on and see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. Oh yeah. For the month of March 2021. Yep. Okay. All right, so right when I saw the card come out, I knew that this is somebody, this is a relationship and interaction with somebody here. All right, we also have a repeater card. We have the Five of Swords. Just saw the Five of Swords here. But let's talk about the Magician. Now, the Magician in the reverse talks about us not taking advantage of everything that's available to us. What resources and tools do you have at your disposal right now that you are not utilizing in order to create the life you want, Sagittarius? Because clearly, the Magician is telling us you have everything you need, but for whatever reason, you're not using it. Now, this doesn't have to actually be physical items. It could be a talent or a skill that you're not using to the best of your ability in order to create the life you want. So you really have to tap into that, and don't let anything go to waste, whether it be something in your physical world or maybe experience, a skill set, I don't know, talent, whatever it is. That could be the key to unlocking the money flow for you, right? So don't neglect anything that you have that you can monetize in a very big way. Now, here we are again with the Five of Swords. We have the Five of Swords here, but the good thing is that it's in the reverse. So whatever issue this is with this interaction here, it's very disappointing. I see it could hurt your heart here, but it's one of those things where you got to kind of let it go, and you got to kind of not take it personal and realize that sometimes in order for you to move forward in your life, it's going to cause a separation with certain relationships or certain people in our lives. That's just the way it is. Everybody deals with it. You know, when we grow and when we achieve our dreams and our goals, we have to let things go. We have to leave some people behind. It's unfortunate, but sometimes they're toxic, or sometimes they're, you know, jealous, envious, and they have this negative energy that could weigh us down. I think you could probably know who this is or what this is about, Sagittarius, so I'll just leave it at that. Next, we have the Two of Pentacles. Pay attention to the budget. Make sure that you are double checking your statements, your invoices, your receipts, because sometimes things happen. The other thing about the Two of Pentacles is that we have to make sure we're on top of our own finances. Okay, if you have a way to prepay some bills, now would be a good time to do it. We also have the Five of Cups, which talks about maybe feeling a little bit regretful. And I'm not surprised this showed up, because we also have, remember, this whole stuff going on over here, and then we have this here. Five of Cups talks about regret. We're feeling sorry that, you know, maybe we did have to let something go. You know, not that we purposely are trying to hurt anybody, but again, sometimes things happen. And I know, because we are emotional beings, that sometimes our feelings do get hurt. The thing is, though, is that you're going to have to figure out a way to move past it, because you've got all these beautiful things happening for you, Sagittarius. You know, and it fell onto the Wish card and the Empress. So please figure out a way to kind of heal and let some things go, even if you have to do it in stages or in steps, because you've got a lot of things in your favor, and we don't want to get in the way of that. Next, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which talks about you're going to be very busy with work, okay? Things are going to start picking up very soon, and this is good. For those of you who want to work extra shifts, you're going to have that. For those of you who want to work overtime, looks like that's going to be available, and it looks like there's not going to be any type of slowdown or interruption of the workflow. So you're going to be very, very busy once we hit the second half of March. And I already talked about the Three of Swords. This is the Heartbreak card. And again, it fell onto these cards here, which I said I think there's a interaction or a conversation going on here. But we've discussed it, and I think, Sagittarius, you know, it's one of those things where you're just going to have to let it go, and you're going to have to it's like you're going to have to figure out how to move on in a way to preserve yourself. And sometimes that's hard. But because we all want to grow financially, it's one of those things that has to be done. So let's see what else shows up for Sagittarius as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. Ooh. For the month of March 2021. All right. I'm feeling like this is a very heavy, energetically heavy month for you, Sagittarius. And it's interesting because a lot of the signs are kind of going through this. There's definitely some energetic heaviness that so many of us are experiencing right now. All right, so as we close out the month of March, Sag, Six of Cups, someone from your past wants to reconnect. I have a feeling this is an old work, college, high school buddy, and maybe there is a potential for a mutually beneficial experience. Maybe an opportunity shows up that will be profitable for you in some way. Whatever the case may be, it looks like it's going to be a very joyful reunion, so have fun with that. Next, we have the Five of Pentacles. Now, this is the mindset card, right? We have to examine our money beliefs. Sometimes we have been programmed from when we were little that money is in short supply, there is not enough, or whatever the story may be. This card talks about we have to reprogram our subconscious and we have to reprogram our money beliefs in order to get to that next level. I think this is something you are very aware of, Sagittarius, but it looks like this is showing up to remind you that, actually to remind all of us that we still have that inner work to do in order to break free of the mental barriers that are holding us back from the money that we want to have. We also have the Empress here. Now, this is a repeater card. This time she's in the reverse, which means that whatever was happening probably here, I don't know if it ends at this point in the game, or there could be something kind of getting in the way of the forward movement. The other thing about the Empress, too, is that it talks about immaturity. And I don't really feel that that's really relevant here, Sagittarius, but maybe for some of you it could be. But I'm really picking up here that there's something that disrupts the natural course of things. Things happen in their own timing and in their own way, but unless something disrupts that, then it doesn't continue on. So I feel like there's going to be some type of a disruption, maybe from something that was started here. Maybe there's a pause, maybe there's a delay, a postponement, something to that effect. But here's where things get good. We have the Page of Cups. This is a brand new offer, a very exciting, positive, happy offer coming your way. Now, this could be something work or money related, but I'm also picking up that this could be something in your personal life too. But it still has a direct or indirect tie to your finances in some way. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Again, this talks about you working independently, you working solo. The other thing is, because it fell on this Eight of Pentacles, I'm feeling like this card here means that, people are not going to be showing up, so that's going to create an opportunity for you to really shine. Sagittarius, like sometimes people call out sick, and so they say, hey, can you come in and cover a shift? And you do, and it really allows you to score some brownie points with the boss. It's like that type of situation. Now, I know that may not apply to all of you, but whatever the case may be, this card talks about you working independently or you working solo. Next, we have the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands in the reverse does talk about something not starting again as it's supposed to, or it kind of starts in a disappointing way. This is the card of foundation. This is also the card of stability when it's in the reverse. It means that there's something still not quite in place in order for things to move to the next level. So this could be in relation to this. It could also be in relation to this card here. It's one of those things where we have to see how things play out. But I'm getting the sense here with this Four of Wands in the reverse, something's not quite in place yet. So there's probably something that you're waiting for those of you, who could be starting a business, maybe a new job. There's something that's not in place, something that's not completed in order to move to the next step. Next, we have the Justice card, and the Justice card. Whenever I see the Justice card in the reverse, this talks about decisions being made without your input or without your feedback. But the interesting thing is that the decision affects you wholeheartedly. So the Justice card being in the reverse, and it's interesting because these cards fell onto this card, which is about this situation here. I'm wondering if all of these things are all part of that same situation here, because I'm really feeling like this has to do with an individual. Like, this is not something that is it's not something that's specific to your money per se, but it has more to do with the interaction of whatever this person or this exchange was. And there's something going on where there's somebody else involved here. And that's all I'm getting. I'm going to pull one more card just because I want to see if something else shows up. There's something else we need to know. Because I feel like this is really heavy for you for this month, Sagittarius. Is there anything else we need to know? Okay, so we got, okay. All right, so I got the Four of Swords, which means taking a step back. Seven of Wands, communication. Six of Pentacles in reverse, somebody is not being generous. All right, Sagittarius, so what I can gather from this here is there's a connection with someone, and it looks like there's a financial tie to you, and you're going to be dealing with it for most of the month of March. And it looks like someone has taken advantage of your generosity. And this talks about arguing and bickering and going back and forth. But energetically, this just feels really, really heavy. All right, Sagittarius, I hope that was helpful. You know, a lot of you will tell me if you know what this situation is, or if you know who this particular person is in your life that could be causing some of this emotional upset or this emotional heaviness, because I'm really picking up on that. And I guess we'll just have to see how the month plays out. But like I said, I just feel this heaviness here. All right, so let's go ahead and close out your reading, Sag, with a Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle card. This deck was made by Kelly Smith. She is a mind, body, and wellness practitioner. And the cards are beautiful, and what I love about them is that they are very direct and to the point. All right, Sagittarius, and look at the beautiful artwork as well. You got card number 52, which is Auric Field. Interesting. It is time to call in energy protection to shield, clear, and strengthen your aura. Oh, okay. Now this also kind of enlightens me about this here. It's time to call in energetic protection, okay? So maybe energetically, you need to protect yourself, Sagittarius, throughout the month of March. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, drop them down below. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. We'll definitely do it all again next month.